Welcome to Tales from Tech Support, where we look at some of the funniest IT-related stories from around the web. I'm your host, the Tier 1 Tech, that guy who eats chips while pretending to listen to you describing your computer problems. Today we've got two short stories, but they're very good. The first one comes to us from a user by the name of Brother Primus, and it is called Note to Self, Make Error Codes Less Vague. And it goes, alongside my day job as an admin and my weekend job as a consultant, I dabble in a bit of custom software for my clients if required. It's mostly pretty simple C# apps to fill a simple requirement. For one client, I was building a piece of software that would act as a front end for a web app. Nothing too fancy and not a lot that could go wrong with it. While trying to short out an elusive bug, crossed out unintentional feature, in development, I put in a pop-up box in a few places to narrow down what was happening. There are much smarter ways of doing this, but it was late at night and the hamster that powers me was about to fall off his wheel. After narrowing it down to a particular section, my pop-ups became less helpful to the point where they had no debugging value except for actually popping up. Eventually I found the problem, quickly fixed it, it was a pretty stupid bug, put it onto stability testing, and went to bed. Later on, I would add the finishing touches and some more coherent error codes just in case something did go wrong. Fast forward 2 weeks after a successful deployment and a happy client, I get a meeting request to pop by their office to give them a hand with imaging a computer. They had tried it themselves, but it was having all sorts of problems and the software was not operating correctly on startup. When I arrive at the office, the client greets me at the door. Client, hey, thanks for coming at such short notice, but I think the app is having some serious issues. Me, I'm sorry to hear that. Let's see if we can resolve the problem. What's the error code it's showing? Client points to screamed. The perfect storm has happened. A bad imaging caused the computer to behave strangely, which in turn made the software bug out in strange new ways, but which just so happened to be the very block of code where I put a temporary pop-up box stating the following error code. This shit is fucked. For context, we're both Australian and I could laugh about it. It's always situations like that where we breach the barrier of professionalism and you end up getting a little bit of glimpse of what we actually think and feel on the back end when we're writing code and fixing problems. It's always funny when the customer knows and understands that as soon as you hit the mute button, things get a little bit more casual, and it's always good when they've got a good sense of humor about it. So the next story comes to us from a user by the name of Igano, or I don't know, I do not know. And the title is, I Know You Deleted My Files. And it goes, so this happened a few years ago, so parts of the conversations I am going off of memory. This whole thing went on over a few week period. So DU equals dumb user, ME equals myself. So, sitting at my front desk, or at my desk first thing in the morning when I start looking through the ticket queue to see what I could knock out quickly before I was going to be in meetings for a few hours. First thing I see is a file restore ticket, so I grab that one so I can just kick it off. But then I notice in the ticket the user wanted me to call them because they needed to speak to someone about their disappearing files. Dumb user, hello, this is dumb user. Me, hello, I got your ticket you submitted this morning for a file restore, and you requested a phone call about it. Dumb user, I need y'all to stop deleting my files. It's preventing me from doing my job. Me, I'm sorry sir to hear your files keep coming up missing, but we do not delete any files. That statement was mostly true. Many years before we migrated from Novell file servers to Windows file servers, we had some servers that were at their max volume size. But of course, so many apps the business used at that time were in-house developed apps and were hard-coded to use specific file paths. Also, the developers had no care to fix any of this because they had no time. So we would go out and delete files that were not allowed to be on there so we would go out and delete files that were not allowed to be on there, the user still stored. Music, movies, personal photos, etc. We never deleted anything work-related. Also, dumb user stated within the last few months, so should have no idea what even happened back then. Dumb user, yes, you do, I know you do. Me, sir, the files are in the process of being restored, but I will check with my team to see what I can find. I would recommend that you check with your coworkers to make sure none of them deleted by mistake. Dumb user, whatever, and he hangs up. Fast forward later that week, I see a ticket in the queue for restoring the same files. This time I do the restore, email the user it is restored, and resolve the ticket. Then my phone starts ringing. Me, hello, this is Igonox. That's how you say it, I guess. How can I help you? Dumb user, why did you delete my files again? You need to stop this, I cannot get my work done. Me, sir, I checked with my team and no one here deleted any files on that file server. Dumb user, I told you I know y'all delete my files all the time. You make it impossible to do our jobs. Me. I will forward your concerns to my manager and he should be giving you a call. Dumb user hangs up without a response to that. I shoot an email off to my manager with all the information, and then I start to get back to work. To try to prevent any more calls from dumb user, I hop on that file server and enable auditing for file deletion so the next time I can see who is doing it so we can put a stop to it. A few weeks go by and then I finally get a ticket again. So I pull up the logs to see who deleted them, and the logs show they were deleted a few minutes before the ticket was submitted by dumb user. I send the logs off to my manager who contacts dumb user's manager. I find out after that call for weeks dumb user had been missing deadlines for his work and he kept blaming IT. Oh no. Turns out dumb user was in over his head with the job and he was hired to do. He must have figured he could get away with blaming IT when his work was late. I never saw a ticket from him after that day. Oh no, dude, you can't do that. That is so awful. If you think that anything that you do on a computer is not tracked and you can ever get away with anything like that, you are wrong. Well, maybe unless you work at a place with incompetent IT admins, but in most cases you are wrong, especially if you piss off the IT administrator and put them in a position where they have to prove that they are not doing anything wrong and that you are actually the person that is doing the wrong thing. It's usually not gonna go well. So I hope you guys enjoyed this and you were able to gain something from it. This has been Rising Techs, and if you are a Rising Tech looking to better yourself or your IT infrastructure, be sure to subscribe, leave a rating, and send me a comment to let me know how I'm doing. This is Rising Techs, logging out. If you are interested in a career in IT or system administration, an entry-level technician, or even someone further along in your technology career, Rising Techs has great content to binge watch. Check out the Tech 101 series for an entertaining glance at core IT terms and concepts. Check out the Top Priority series for an in-depth look at the most important character traits of CIS professionals and the cornerstones of properly maintained networks. And during the week, check out the Tales from Tech Support series, which covers the funniest IT-related stories from around the web. Thank you for watching. Be sure to subscribe, leave me a comment and a rating, and have a great day. This is Rising Techs, logging off.